Is there anything that could have been done that could have made it equal to the first Gladiator?
Definitely. Um, Originality. I'm going with a hip hop expression. This movie could have done so much more if it would have stuck to being original. Yes, you can borrow or even draw an inference to Gladiator because that's the reason why everybody's coming, and it has
Of
to
course, yeah.
stay within that existence, that timeline, that world it's created. But it could have developed new problems. And between the two of us, we've already given the screenplay. You have this great character, you have a great actor in Pedro Pascal, he does his thing, et cetera, and have him be, that figure in which, Roman society is based upon warlike mechanisms. And then in turn, you have this figure in Lucius trying to reclaim what was his. And sure, Acacius could have been married to Lucilla, but it could have been more of like a marriage of convenience, her trying to
Yeah,
save herself. Once again, she finds herself in another dangerous climate, and she's using her political shrewdness to navigate treacherous waters. And then in
yeah,
turn, you have this other sub element there where you have Denzel's character come into the mix. And then in turn, he's trying to seek vengeance for being a former slave and trying to exterminate the entire bloodline of Marcus Aurelius. And then in
yeah,
turn, you could have had that moment of that coming to the mountain moment where Lucius visits Maximus's tomb and he sees the honoring and the garments and such, and he says, "You know what? I was lost, but now I'm found. I'm going to honor my family, my traditions, my gods, etc., etc."
yeah. And if you put all that in the Chat GPT, it would come out with a script, and it might come out with that version of the movie. But there's something that you said in last week's show, and I'm not going to get it 100% right, but it was the idea that when the first time a movie is made, there's a certain originality to it.
Hmm.
And then what usually happens is as you make sequels, it sort of becomes more formulaic. And I think you use the example of like instant oatmeal, like
Hmm.
instant pancakes kind of stuff. The audience has to kind of buy into the instant pancake thing and want to see essentially the same thing over and over again
Mm.
with slight changes in order for that to continue.
True.
I don't know if this movie, I don't know if there ever can or should be a Gladiator 3. Maybe the money will say it should,
Mm.
but this is not like this franchise isn't like Mission Impossible or
Mm.
the Fast and the Furious, where you can kind of keep making the same sort of movie over and over again, and you can just add a different stunt or a different car, and it's entertaining because the first one, to your point, had something so visceral about it that
Hmm.
it sticks with you,
Yeah.
right? And so some of that is lost, right, on the
Fair
second
point.
one. So
Fair
I get
point.